Hey now, welcome back to Let's Suffer Together. I'm Suffer, back with the Undermine Relic tier list. Back with Priskip. How you doing, man?
I'm doing good.
And
Yeah.
Headwound. How you doing, man?
Hey, I'm doing great. Looking forward to some good relics this episode.
Well, this is it. We dealt with a lot of later game unlocks for the previous few episodes. We're getting to some of the earlier game stuff here today, so it should be a really interesting conversation on not only our experience and certain late game aspects that we've been doing, but also really at the very start of the game, where the first few runs you play, these relics really come into prominence. So to start off, we got the sewing kit, one you'll automatically have unlocked. Priskip, would you like to take us through that one?
All right. This guy is a fairly simple relic to understand. What it does is if you pick it up, your gold integrity becomes 100%. So, this type of relic does exactly what it says on the tin. If you die, you keep all your gold. Fantastic for early game, where your gold integrity starts off at 50%, and it takes a long time to upgrade that gold bag to get to its maximum capacity at 95%. But as you're starting out, it's difficult to get those upgrades because they cost a lot of money. So it would be nice to have something that can let you keep all the money that you earn in the Undermine to allow you to buy the upgrades in the hub to allow you to progress in the game. This thing is fantastic for keeping your gold, and then, but it tends to lose its significance in the later game when you already have the maxed out gold bag, because when you have that maxed out gold bag, you only lose 5% instead of 50. It starts to lose its significance in late game.
Oh, yeah, no, absolutely. This is one of when we talk about how do you build your undermine? Like, what are the keys to getting started? This is one of the best relics that you can find in a game as far as keeping that build going. Because early on, gold is the most important thing in building a proper undermine growth. Uh, Even if you fail and you die with this one, you keep all of the gold that you've collected versus the 50% that you start out with, or the 50% that you would lose it without this. So I think this is a tremendous early game advantage. But once you get going in your undermine and you start having the success of obtaining more gold or finding um you know just gathering that wealth together and building out your perks for your character, and then you no longer need to spend gold in the hub. You're now only using it to buy things within the game. That's a point where this is kind of an iffy relic. It has a certain attraction early game, but then quickly peters out.
One of those that money in the hub area of the game, allowing you that meta purchase progression, allowing you to buy swing damage, more gold integrity. You'll be spending a lot of gold on keeping your gold integrity, by the way. That costs quite a bit. But throw length, and just so many integral things in the game in the hub area, allowing you to open up the game through transmutation options by buying bigger and better bombs, potion unlocks, going to Arcanos and getting all the quality of life options that you can get more food in the shop, much more options in the shop. It branches out into all aspects of the game. Money in the very start of the game. It's hard to state how important it is to actually feel like you're progressing in the game. That just gives it that kind of much needed place in the game as well.
Hmm.
Yeah, indeed, indeed. So, Prisket, where would you put this?
It reminds me of another relic that we've talked about in previous episode, where it's fantastic early game, but in the late game it just kind of peters off, and that is the battle axe. So I think it would sit comfortably next to the battle axe in the B minus.
I think it's a
Suffer?
really difficult one to rate because of its unique early game nature. But you do find it later on as well, and it's like, this is a free run. I'm not going to lose money this run if I die, even if you are heading down the Summoning Stone levels. Too bad. Hold up, this doesn't exist as a relic in Undermine.
No,
Thinking about it.
I've
So,
actually did a
yeah.
really interesting science in the other mine where you are able to put Sewing Kit on the pedestal, and it will transfer over to other mine.
Ah,
However, if you keep it in other mine, it doesn't do anything. It doesn't preserve your gold to the next other mine run. It's
a letdown.
basically useless in other mine.
Which does actually make sense because each individual run is with a different peasant. So,
Yeah. It's a different stabbing of the throat in the whole
yeah,
magical mumbo jumbo of the gatekeeper.
exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I would probably put this at a B minus also. I think there's an absolute purpose for it in the game. It does protect you from a specific curse, which you lose more gold on death. This actually negates that completely.
Wouldn't you argue, and I'm going to be bringing it back to this a lot, I know I've already done this, but float boots, it removes a problem from the game. Having the problem of losing gold, doesn't it kind of feel a bit similar? I know float boots have a longer longevity from early game to late game, but the fact it's just
Yeah.
chopping something out the game and going, nah, you don't have to worry about that.
Well, it's
Well,
also what the whale boots do.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Good point.
Removes
It's all
the
about the
danger.
boots. Seriously.
And indeed, I thought about this one in regards to that kind of thing. Like, doesn't it have a better weight as far as its importance? But at some point, you're going to end up actually achieving that 999,999 gold. And it will take you an incredible number of losses consecutive in order for you to whittle that down. Now, if you are consistently struggling in this game and you are losing gold consistently, even at, I mean, you think of it, if we're taking 95% of the gold back with us, but we've got a couple of curses to say that is reduced, when we're talking about even like, let's say 500,000, that's a lot of gold that you're losing out on the floor. And over time, that could really whittle you down. I mean, I've gone from 999,999 down to like 100,000 and then decided that I wanted to, do a level 1 and summoning stone level 1 and just rebuild it back up. So, I mean,
I will, B minus thinking about it,
yeah.
because if float boots give you the advantage of flight all the time and never really lose their advantage, I know spikes are the same, but just having those two boots there, it's like a guiding light, What is it with the boot collection? It's just, the sale must still be on.
It always
It
comes
is.
back to the boots.
Yeah, I'll go B
It
minus.
is.
Yeah.
Good.
All right. Well, next up, we got Simple Chest. Everyone's favorite find. When you find this, you're like, oh, yes, I get those extra items in the shop. There is no downside to this. It's 2 extra items in every shop that you come across, including Black Rabbit's shop. Absolutely glorious relic. What are you guys' thoughts?
It's one that's
I love this thing.
never let me down. Put it that way. Pure profit. Unless you're very early game, you just don't have the money. And even then, it's just offering you stuff for massive advantage. The shops,
Yeah.
I mean, if they weren't in the game, well, when you're building up the meta progression for the shops, you see how much it makes a difference. And just having simple chest as a relic that's always about, it delivers.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
and-
love the simple chest. Just those 2 extra items for every single shop that you go into makes a huge difference over the run. And what's even better is that those 2 extra items can be potions, which can be further transmuted to help you get better or like more blessings, for example, with Holy Glaze or Ambrosia. Or if you are so lucky to have found the All Potion, you can even transmute one of those extra potions into an All Potion, getting a massive benefit. But yeah, this just having the more options in the shop is amazing.
Yeah. And the fact that this is available from the start of the game to even the highest summoning stones, it doesn't lose its value. It always has a benefit. It as you progress and build out the pilfer shop and supply it with new items and more relic possibilities, the two items could be anything from food to a key to a bomb to a relic or a potion. It runs the whole store. So,
Especially when you start the game and you only have 3 items ever to choose from until you start the hub meta progression. Like the amount of extra potential at the shops, even when you're fully done the hub area meta progression.
Oh yeah,
And getting
this thing can be
extra relics, as Priskip said, extra potions, even just food, keys, bombs. Yeah, it's just amazing. It can't be
it can be a real go ahead, Tucker.
underestimated, you know.
yeah. As I'm thinking about this, I'm trying to think of like a negative side to this. I think the only negative side to this is it could present a choice early on in your Undermine runs where you are presented with items that you can't afford because you don't have enough money. That would be the only downside, but it could also be an opportunity for when you have 1,000 gold and you get something in the shop, like you get Catalyst, but you grab this from the relic room, you go back, and suddenly you get Gordon's tunic
Yeah.
or a keyblade. I mean,
the amount of extra benefit from just relics in the first place being
I'm
available
gonna
in shops.
I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna say this. I think this is our first P.
I was thinking it could be very well could be the first P1. And Suffer?
Are we punishing relics for being useless late game?
This is not.
Fine,
This is not worthless late game.
no, but it
That's the
essentially
thing.
it's a different tier relic. If you find it early game, yeah, I'd give it a P. But if you to find it late game, hey, you still get something out of it, but it's not exactly lit you on fire. Like
So
change the run.
it can. I've actually it has for me. Like I've gone all the way to caverns and not seen Keyblade, and I'm trying to my darndest to like find those extra things, and then I get simple chest, like second caverns, and it supplies 2 extra items, and then the very next
You have to
level.
pay for those items. It's not
That's
giving it to you.
true,
It's not giving you anything
but
for free.
it gives you the necessary choices for you to make the decisions that will ultimately get you a possible win. There is no downside.
There are extra steps.
We're
though.
talking.
I suppose what I wanna, and the only thing that I think deserves to belong on P, which we all know what it is. You have to use a bomb for, but that's a game that always pays out, if you know what I mean.
This has to be a P for me. This is like, you know, we're gonna talk about that other relic later on.
All right. Well,
Both of these are not considered an absolute necessary for a run, but can they change the effect of the run for the better always?
For me, it's a tough choice to whether to shove it on P tier, because would you always take this thing above any of the other relics shown? Like if you had to choose between simple chest or anything else on the list right now,
in
would you
fact,
pick up the simple
depending
chest?
where I am in the run, I would take a lot of the S's, a lot of the A's, a lot of the A pluses over a simple chest. Like halfway through the run, after that cut-off point, you're taking other tiers.
Yeah.
The later game, of course, but like
I
Keyblade
will-
especially.
I will concede to that. Like, if it was presented a keyblade or a simple chest,
Yeah.
we as players of higher summoning stones, we know keyblade is a necessary to get us the damage, but it's not always that case. Like
Yep.
in early runs, in early summoning stones, that keyblade is not, that guarantee that you're going to get the win, but being able to get more items, get more food, get those extra potions, get the opportunity of getting another relic or 2 relics even.
But when you're in the early game, you have to have the meta unlock to actually be able to get relics. And that takes a little while in the shop
Yeah.
in the first place. So not instantly out
Mhm.
the box going to be providing you with everything you need. It's only 3 items. It's always either a key, a bomb. Well, it's either a key. It's an item, basic item, key, bomb, artifact, or and a food and a potion.
Mhm.
Yeah, and it's always one of those until you get the meta unlock.
Yeah.
I don't know what the other 2 from the simple chest, if they can be anything, which they may be able to be. It seemed
Yeah,
like
I don't know the early game
They
progression
can.
with
so
the
it could
simple chest.
potentially give you a relic straight away.
That's
Mhm.
right.
Yeah.
But you want that relic
for
to be
me,
Keyblade.
yeah.
Give me that Keyblade. Even I find Keyblade even early game, if you concentrate on
Yeah.
getting keys, can take you as far as taking a simple chest earlier, and then getting the benefit from the simple chest, whatever that.
Yeah,
That's from the shops.
I have to look at over simple chest as an increased possibility of getting me more relics, allowing me to unlock the game quicker in making progression. So I still think it. I mean, I see your point.
Mhm.
Right,
About
I'll make you a deal.
ranking.
We'll bring it back up when the thing that should be a P and will be a P and phrase is going to be on P.
I'm gonna make it.
Because...
I'm gonna make it hard on you on
Well,
that
this is it.
one.
We'll bring it back up. We'll bring the simple chest back
Yeah.
up. We'll compare them, and I'll school you on why the only thing that belongs at P is Pet Rock.
You say that now, but you just wait.
Ah,
Yeah, the simple chest, I agree, could be P, but I'll wait till we get to have the discussion on that pet rock.
All right. What's up
But yeah,
next?
oh,
if there was an S plus, I would definitely put it at S plus.
always good food time
Mhm.
when you've got a meal ticket, which is what's up next. Once you pick up this relic, you're able to get an extra piece of food from every shop, every Crazy Eyes, Black Rabbit, entertainment feature. It's alright, you get a bit of free food, it's always unlocked. Pretty cheap as well, 300 for initial shop cost. Free food at the shop right now, and it can be a big ham, it can be a fish, it can be a steak, so you've always got that lucky dip option of getting good healing or none. Basically, just the lowliest little steak. But it can change a run, it really can, and you can gradually build yourself back up with extra free food. Like really early game, like really early when you say you haven't even got your first summoning stone yet. This will be a staple of how you progress. I'll tell you that.
Mhm.
It drags you forward, kicking and screaming, just with that free health every time. How do you guys think? How do you guys rate it?
I actually really like this relic. Just that little extra food can sometimes be all you need. And in addition to giving you free food, if you have breastplate or eidolon, it can also give you free armor.
And it can.
Mm-hmm.
Great combination.
This is one where I will fully base how my run is going and whether or not I will take this. If I feel that I'm in that right mindset and my run's going good and I don't have to worry about healing too much, then absolutely I will skip this. But if I see that I'm struggling and that I'm constantly battling between getting damage and finding that healing and taking more damage and then finding more food or healing, I will absolutely pick it up. Does this have a use throughout all summoning stone levels? I would say so, because it's free healing in every shop that you come across.
Yeah, the problem for healing, you're always going to need it, and it's a nice staple relic. It's one you'll always come across, one you'll always consider at the time. Sometimes you leave it behind, sometimes you can't change it, so you'll take it, and sometimes you really, really enjoy finding it. The mixed bag, the lucky dip.
Yeah. This thing came in handy so many times when I was trying no upgrade challenges for Undermine.
Ah,
Just a little bit of extra food early on when you're not allowed to upgrade the shop is fantastic. It keeps you going. But even at the high summoning zones, if I'm in gold mine or even dungeon and I don't have, or I just don't have like a tremendous source of healing, like I don't have that much hardiness, I'll take the meal ticket because, hey, a little bit of extra food would do just about the same amount as an extra level of hardiness. I was thinking it's kind of similar to another relic, but it doesn't have the same randomness. It's similar to the Butcher's Cleaver, where it gets you more food. But I feel like the Butcher's Cleaver has more potential.
no, it
It
pays
can
out so much more.
it can give you more food. It'll give you a lot more food than the meal ticket. But the meal ticket does have its use. It's not something
Certainty.
I refuse, but it's not necessarily something I always pick up. Similar to the wet blanket. So I'd probably nudge it next to the wet blanket.
I think it would be a B for me.
Yeah,
Hmm.
I think it would. I don't want to rate it that high because it's so. You still do all the work. It doesn't improve your run. It just keeps you alive. And how
Yeah.
thankful
Yeah.
we should be thankful for that for a certain amount. But at the end of the day, it's not providing us with. I suppose is in a way providing you time to learn, time to kill, and get through the game.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah,
I
I'll concede
respect
to
it with a
putting it
B.
B.
I think that's
Yeah.
respectable. I
I
think
think
it's
so
probably
too.
possibly higher than it deserves. But compared to the
Mm.
other relics, that's a fine
Yeah.
position.
Mm-hmm. Like it doesn't lose its usefulness like the sewing kit does at the high summoning stones. It still has its uses.
Yeah.
But
Indeed.
yeah, next up.
And the alternate hat the alternate hat option.
Yeah.
The ultimate hat.
Ultimate hat option. This one was me, right?
It was.
Alright. So, the Adventurer's Hat. Finding more secret rooms. So, in Undermine, every floor that you go into will have 2 secret rooms and a secret crawl space. If you find the Adventurer's Hat, there will be 3 secret rooms per floor, but still only 1 crawl space, so it doesn't increase the amount of crawl spaces, but does increase the amount of secret rooms. So therefore, you can potentially find more cool stuff if you are familiar with how to find the secrets in this game. One way to find the secrets is if an explosion goes off in a room and there's a bombable wall, little sparkles will show on the wall to signify that it's a bombable wall. But as you play more and more of this game, you start to pick up on how the game generates its layout for the floor, and you start to be able to tell where the secrets are just based on the floor layout. Every now and then you'll be wrong, but you start to get a general feeling for where the secret rooms are. But the secret rooms have random types of treasure in them. Sometimes good treasure, sometimes bad treasure. And by bad treasure, I mean like a cursed lantern or cursed chest. Or sometimes you find good treasure like a couple of keys for your keyblade. It's a nice little relic that just increases secrets, and it has it does combine with the next relic that we'll talk about to produce. Well, we'll talk about it when we get to it. Yeah. So
Indeed.
Headwound.
No, I think that this is a really fun relic to add to the game to increase your odds in finding just random cool stuff. Now, like Priskip said, you may find a room that's just it's a troll. You go in there. I've actually had rooms where you open it up and there's actually nothing. I've
I
gone
remember
into
those.
yeah. I've actually found secret rooms that had a chest that gave me a new recipe. I found one with curses in it. I found, there's so many possibilities of what this could do to your run to improve it and also cause you to spend another bomb that you really couldn't afford to get into a room that doesn't have anything. It kind of it adds more fun to that RNG experience of a roguelike game.
When you're talking about like trying to learn how to find secret rooms, the more secret rooms there are, the easier it is to learn. Simple as that, and it allows you to, one, as Headwind was saying, just get more stuff. It's always good, isn't it? But also to start to consider even more where secret rooms are likely to be, how the patterns on the walls can identify certain secret rooms. You just get a second sense and a feeling sometimes, especially if there's a rock right next to the secret room, right where you should plop your bomb. That's sometimes a dead giveaway. Just little things like that. So, the Adventurer's Hat, it's got fundamentally good uses across the board. I know this isn't an Othermine relic tier list, but it has a practical use in Othermine as well with its combination relic. We'll get into soon. But just for Undermine, it's good enough. It's not something that's gonna, on its own, turn everything around, but it provides. It certainly does that.
Yeah.
It delivers. But unfortunately, that delivery is hidden away. You've got to find it, but it's there for you.
It's a fun relic.
Yeah. So Priskip, where is it gonna go?
I was thinking somewhere in the B's.
I was thinking B minus again.
Yeah.
I was thinking B minus also.
It's just
It can save you, but it's a bit RNG. It really depends on the situation.
much like the others on that list. You wouldn't really care if it didn't exist, although you are thankful it exists because it does have practical use. But a
Yeah.
meal ticket can legitimately kind of be an enjoyable one. Say like and Doomblade as well. Just have that enjoyability factor that it's kind of can save runs and it can do that extra mile stuff. Well, I don't think the B minuses can really do that apart from the value in sewing kit.
Yeah.
Indeed.
All right.
Next up, the Adventure's Whip. This one is great if you are trying to make progression and find those secret rooms to find the chests that will ultimately allow you to unlock more items, get more keys, get more bombs, get extra, just extra everything. This will increase the number of hidden staircases for every level that you go through. And it's unlocked with the game. It also has a really good synergy with the Adventurer's Hat, which the next relic that we will review will go over that. But this is one where early game, and specifically early game for me, this was an absolute. Like, if I saw this, I would absolutely pick it up. I would waste every single bomb that I had to try to find those crawl spaces, to get down, to try to find more chests that I can get into to unlock the other items of the game and make that progression. This also is one of my kind of requirements to help with getting one thing in the game that is like the ultimate potion, the all potion. And this will help you explore and find more of those areas to ultimately even get you that. So I think this is a great relic early game, and also for trying to achieve certain unlocks. But beyond that, now that I've unlocked everything in the game, or at least have the recipes for everything in the game, it's kind of a nothing relic for me now.
Always confused me when I first started out between discover more treasure rooms and adventurous hat discover more secret rooms. There is a clear definition between them. Obviously stated in the wiki: more cursed chests, locked chests, for adventurer's whip, rocket encrusted chests, health cost levers to spawn a bridged cross chest. So I don't just think it's crawl spaces. I think it's just a definition of a type of secret room, whether it be a crawl space or a secret room.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it would increase the chance of the all potion room showing up because I don't know if those are considered treasure rooms.
Maybe they
Might be
are.
something fun to test,
Yeah.
but for me, it's difficult to test because the all potion rooms are very scarce.
The thing is, I've always been confused about this one as well, like never knowing a definition of the treasure or secret rooms. And what do you mean? Just tell me straight, would you? Relics, but they never do. You'd feel like you get a feel for it over the amount of playthroughs we've had, but no, it just doesn't sit. Just doesn't sit well. Again, everybody has their own kind of experiences with it and what they get more out of. Did you feel like Headwound that you got more actual crawl spaces out of them?
Oh yeah, absolutely. In fact, I think you even I do recall a run that you did where you had bombed something in one room, found the crawl space, and then went into another room, and a bomb fell, and you found another crawl space, and
Hmm.
the surprise on your face was like, oh, okay, that's awesome.
Was that an Undermine video or was that an Undermine video?
I believe that was an Undermine video.
I think I believe I've had 2 crawl spaces before. I didn't see it as impossible, especially with Adventurer's Whip or Adventurer's Hat. But I don't know what. I've never really understood. I just see them as the same thing. Yeah, you get a certain type of thing from one, you get a certain type of thing from another, but I don't really need to consider what you get offered from each of them to know that they're roughly you're gonna get a certain secret.
Huh.
You know, it's just I just see them as the same thing all the time. And
I'm
then
gonna
when
have
you
to do
get
some more
both,
science.
hey, you're just bustling with secrets. You know.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to do some more science now. Equip the Adventurer's Whip and bomb everything.
Yeah.
See what happens.
Although you'll never
yeah.
know which one is the spare one.
Yeah.
So you're gonna
this
have a bit of a
one,
difficult science.
This one I'm gonna be a little bit more cruel on because I think it has a limited lifespan of use. And then after it, yeah, I'm gonna give this one C plus, maybe even a C, depending on what your guys' thoughts are.
I think one of them should be punished for having 2 of the same thing. You see, I don't mind having 1 on a run just to spice it up, but getting 2, wasting 2 relic slots, and then just being, you have an abundance of secrets, but well, a peasant only has a certain amount of time, Can't be blowing up everything unless, that's your thing for that particular day. But that's not every day.
I think I would give the benefit to the hat because
I prefer
the
the
hat is
hat.
a little bit more. Yeah, the hat is
prefer
more
the hat
straightforward.
also.
The whip
the hat is less confusing.
It just looks better. It's more aesthetically pleasing. I wish it gave the peasant a little fedora, and but the whip, it just looks kind of meh.
Yeah,
it's very kind of, just prejudicial to go on it by looks, but yeah.
Yeah,
nice
I mean
hat.
the fact that the game has a built-in mechanic where if a bomb or an explosion happens within a room, that it echoes and causes a secret in a wall to shimmer. It doesn't happen the same with a rock. So therefore, you have to expend more in order to find those extra secrets for the treasure room. So this is, not a B, below hat for sure.
All right.
And then moving on to the golden
What about
idol.
that synergy?
The golden idol. Combination between the adventurer's whip and the adventurer's hat. You obtain 10,000 gold. You're rich. What, you're going to spend your money on your prize money? Got any ideas? Probably food. Probably keys. Probably basic items. Maybe even a relic or 2. With the adventurer's whip being the default and the adventurer's hat being an unlockable as well, you have that problem where you're not going to automatically, when you start a fresh save, be able to make this combination. But the unlock happens relatively quickly. You'll get it in no time and earning that 10 grand bonus, spending it on a wealth of luxury items, I'm sure, and not considering to save any of it for the meta progression. But it's a nice little boost early game, but it loses relevance later on. And as a relic combination will destroy both the previous relics and just give you one. Of course, you discover more rooms as the effect, but does it have the same effect as having both whip and hat? We never get told, and I've never bothered to find out. But the 10 grand, it has alternative uses in the other mine, although we're not judging it on this, where if you find 10 grand in an other mine run, that is always a good thing. But this has such limited use in an Undermine run. But yeah, you'll enjoy it, and you might as well. But it's not going to change your entire life around. Hey, you might get a nice little hub unlock for your troubles. But it's never one that's lit the world alight.
Yeah, I think you brought up a really good point, multiple points with this. Does it have a use in Undermine? Early levels it does, but you still have to unlock a second item before you can even get to something like this. Not only that, but you have to find both the items before you get to this. I can guarantee you, if you are an Undermine player and you've unlocked the whip and you have the hat, you are most likely going to have more than 10,000 gold in your runs. If the idol, and again, we don't have a confirmation of this, if the golden idol keeps the abilities of both whip and hat for finding you more secret rooms and more treasure rooms, I think this is pretty cool.
I think it's an assumption that you do. It would be pretty silly of them not to put that in, but I don't put it past it either. To kind of just be inherently weaker because you get 10 grand payoff. So
I've never noticed not getting 3 secret rooms if I had golden idol. So I think it does combine the effect of the 2 relics.
You should be getting 4. Get 2 basic secret rooms. You should be getting 2 extra secret rooms with the whip and the hat. If you can find 4 when you've got the golden idol, then it works. Or an extra crawl space.
Or if it gave you the ability to, like Jin, see the rocks that are hiding things.
Hold on, what I'm reading here, it increases the chance of Adventurer's Whip and Adventurer's Hat triggering. So, have we been a little bit remiss, and do the Adventurer's Whip and Adventurer's Hat always get triggered in the first place? And if they don't, then doing science, for one, is going to be quite tricky, because we have no indication when it's triggering. But that's what it says on the wiki. Wiki, you must be correct here. So it must be, like, say, a 50% chance with the whip to get an extra secret room. And then you get Adventurer's Hat if it makes it 100%. Of course, between 2 items, so that's not a 100% chance.
Oh, yeah. That's weird.
Yeah.
That's weird to say the least. I think I need to do some more science on this relic.
Yeah, to me, this relic is a meh.
Yeah.
It has a singular use. Get paid.
Yeah.
But, I mean, it's not a waste. You're still getting the benefit of 2 relics. So this is essentially an add-on. It's like a bonus check for getting both the items in the first place. So, where you putting it C plus maybe? Saying that, comparing it to other things. Maybe even a C minus. Because what you're going to take Millnear.
No, I can't agree with this. If the wiki is correct and it keeps the abilities of the prior relics, it has to at least match the hat.
Yeah.
I suppose it does if you see it as an independent, a completely independent relic.
Yeah. If it increases that percentage of finding treasure rooms or getting extra secret rooms. I would maybe even put this at a. Oh no, I'd still put it at a B minus. It finding those extra secret rooms is not a B type of situation.
Nah.
Stream,
I
yeah.
suppose what you're actually doing, if you leave the golden idol on B minus, you're essentially elevating the whip by proxy to B minus as well, if in conjunction with the hat. That's not so bad. I don't mind that.
Yep.
Okay.
It just
10
essentially you
grand.
are getting a combination, you know,
Yeah.
Yeah,
with 10 grand, which is fine.
that's right.
I won't refuse.
It's kind of like the situation where we had the oil boots and the lava boots, and then the Helios boots.
Yeah.
But this time the difference is so small it doesn't really move where it is.
Doesn't
Indeed.
register in the biggest way. I'm moving on to
Indeed.
one
Now
of the
we get
worst
to
relics.
the other idol.
Mm-hmm.
Oh dear.
This one's me, huh?
Yes.
Yeah. All right. So, speaking of things that don't really register, a Totem of Life. Upon entering a room that you haven't entered previously, it'll give you 6 HP. Woo!
Yay.
6 HP.
It's just you can't say this relic is actually harming you though.
No.
It's a shame.
No.
Yeah.
But it does grow in the amount that it will bless you with additional blessings.
True. I will say one thing nice about the Totem of Life. When you are starting the game, or if you're an Undermine, but more so when you're just starting Undermine, you only have 200 health. And, well, getting 6 health every room, that's, hey, if you don't take damage for a couple of rooms or two, you can really heal yourself up. It's not bad in early game, but in the late game, 6 out of 500, or if you get a whole bunch of wealth blessings, even possibly 1,000, that's pennies.
Yeah,
That's pennies worth.
arguably it's not that bad really, considering say you have 10 rooms in a floor, and say a stake or an averaging healing from meal ticket is about 50 to 100. Say you got 10 rooms, that's a 60 healing, so it's not as bad as we think, because it's kind of somewhat replicating what meal ticket does over a longer period of time. But saying that, I feel like it's a complete waste of space that should be banned and eradicated, because it's never one I enjoy finding apart from very, very unique circumstances, and that is super rare.
Yeah. The best use that you could get out of this thing is if you were to pick up Karmic Scale from Shugul, and I don't know why you would.
Yeah. This one I would rate almost on the same level as, well, maybe actually equal to Catalyst, because Catalyst will only give you 1 HP additional whenever you're receiving healing. But this one gives you a guaranteed 6 HP every new room that you go into. You don't have, it doesn't require food, doesn't require other relics to work. It just gives you the HP. So I'm very tempted to actually push this up to a C+, but because of the low HP gain amount for later summoning stones, it's flexible for me. In early summoning stone runs, this is great. This is like easy free heals every room when you get hit, and in lower summoning stone levels, the amount of damage that you're taking is a lot less.
I'm looking at Millnear and thinking that's in the wrong place. If Millnear is below Totem, we've got our list wrong.
Yeah. I think the Millnear would probably, now, or looking at Millnear again, I feel like Millnear could easily go up to where the Mortar's Orb is.
I was thinking Glaive, but
yeah,
that's probably a bit too high.
Yeah, I was thinking maybe we should move Millnear to Mortar's Orb.
Why do you think Millnear Headwound deserves to be below a Totem? If you want to keep Totem at C, that is. Bust it down to a C. I'm trying to,
Yeah.
leverage you here into getting Totem as low as possible because that's my ultimate goal. So we'll bargain with
No,
Millnear.
I don't think. Okay, so I have to compare the two healing catalyst and a totem of life. I think totem of life, if it became choice between those two, I would take totem of life over catalyst.
I would take Catalyst
I would
because
take Catalyst.
you can get Catalyst to proc more often, ultimately getting more out
It's
of
got more avenues of greatness than
Yeah.
Totem feels like it has.
But we
Mhm.
also are assuming that we have other things unlocked. By itself, catalyst.
Well,
Yeah.
Even some of
It is
some of
kinda-
the default things that you have in the game will get Catalyst to proc more than Totem of Life. Like if you Troll Sweat is unlocked by default, and if you find a Troll Sweat, that's I forget exactly how many times it does it, and it can be increased with potion duration, but you would probably get at least 20 health out of Catalyst if you had Troll Sweat.
And then we're also talking about, I mean, we're talking about adding it with something else. I'm thinking
True.
about on its own, the Totem of Life is going to give you more healing benefit than Catalyst because it would require 6 pieces of food for you to get the equal amount of health increase versus Totem of Life. All you need is one empty room you haven't, or one room you haven't gone into. It doesn't even have to be empty.
Yeah.
It has a
Hmm.
So
hard time expanding out though into other avenues. If we weren't looking at the extended use of Relics, Keyblade would be an F because you would never be able to include it because we can't consider it because we got no keys because we're not allowed anything else to compare it to. If you see what I mean. So inherently, we've
Yeah.
got to see its greater potential, and Totem always falls short. Yeah, you can have a lot of heartiness, and that can improve it really a lot, but not compared to the avenues Catalyst gives you
don't
with
you dare!
heartiness.
Don't you dare move my lady down there.
So I don't know. It's just
Yeah.
I think we're just. I mean, it's 2 against 1. If you guys think it's a C minus, I gotta concede to that. But I am not happy.
I think the Catalyst just has more potential, as Suffer was saying.
I still think Mjolnir is in the wrong position.
Yeah, I think we should
It's just
reevaluate Mjolnir now that some of the things are filled in.
I think we should because I
So
think it's one of those that I think we rated a little low, and I'll tell you why. It's only 2 minor curses, and
yeah,
it's free real estate with damage orbiting. Well, it's kind of like the electric orbital.
How
The
you?
actually
yeah,
is safe.
Oh,
It's
how
safe, right?
dare
It's
you?
safe from electrical water damage.
It's
Where
You,
you
you
said
know
you didn't
what?
like the orb because of the electrical water damage. We've got an item that solves that for you, my friend.
Okay,
It's called Mjolnir.
I will concede. If you're gonna move Millionaire to a C plus, then Totem of Life has to be a C.
I'm happy with that.
The only
yeah.
okay.
Until we fill more in, and we can always have a reconsider. We can have a leverage certain items against other items. Since I am using it free and clear to leverage with Mjolnir. That's a good time.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Feels
good.
like
That's
you've
good
been
bartering right
planning
there.
that.
That's good
But yeah.
bartering.
Yeah.
Yep.
Hey man,
But I
you
definitely
gotta
feel
think.
like Mjolnir is comparable to the Electric Orb. They both do similar things, but in slightly different ways.
You have to work with Mjolnir.
Yeah.
It's throw return, but
Yeah.
hey,
Yeah.
the lack of disadvantage.
To be honest, I would, if it became between Orb and Mjolnir, and I had to make a choice, it would be Mjolnir over Orb because Mjolnir does not electrify you with the water.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Mm-hmm.
all right.
Headwound.
Alrighty.
What do we got here?
What is this thing?
The Apothic Charm.
The Apothic Charm, it restores 1 HP for each different curse the player has when you walk into an undiscovered room. So similar to the Totem of Life, but it requires that you have curses
Hey, it's
and
free
it
heal
doesn't
estate.
count curse. It doesn't count curse stacks, and you have to pay to unlock it. Why?
What, do you not see the free heal estate there? I mean, come
What?
on.
Dude,
1 HP
it's-
for a curse.
what?
That's bargain basement prices.
This is one of the.
Hey, you like
Most-
Totem Alive so much, and
Hey,
we all carry curses. Why do you hate this so much, Headwound? Why do you hate this so much? What's wrong with this?
because I could.
It's exactly
I
what you were
could
praising before.
I could. Hey, this does not. This one requires that you have a curse.
So we all have
The other one
curse,
does not.
You know? It's just
How
a
many
condition.
times-
It's not. It doesn't
Okay.
require you to have curse. It's like
Okay.
it doesn't slap you with a load of curse and say, "Hey, this is indestructible."
what?
It says if you have curse, you can
This
take
one
this.
would actually. I could see myself actually unlocking and using this if it didn't say 1 HP restored per different curse. If it said 10 HP restored for each curse. Oh yeah, this
Yeah.
would be a great item to play with in the game.
It would go super well with Doomblade.
Yeah, but otherwise, I think this is a piece of shit. I'm sorry. This is. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, I'll pretty much agree with that. It's so little healing that when I first unlocked this, I was like, "Ooh, heal each room for every curse that you have." And I go into a room and it's like, "Huh,
Wait a minute.
what?"
I'll
I
agree
hardly get anything.
that
Yeah,
it's hot
yeah.
garbage, but I do find it a little rich that Totem Alive has not been given the same treatment. They're not the same thing, but
Totem Alive doesn't require curses.
they are quite similar coloured. I mean, you got a bronze kind of necklace with the green. I mean, the actual
You know
totem
what?
is bronze with the kind of green. They're kind of mimicking each other there, and I think it should be both
What if
melted
she
down.
wore it?
Both melted down and put into I don't know, recycled.
What if she wore it and then it doubled the amount that you could heal each room?
Maybe it does. It's because we don't have them unlocked and we never found out.
Oh wow! Can we just walk away from this right now? I don't even want to.
Choice words for these things.
Oh my gosh!
No, we all haven't unlocked this, have we?
Yeah, I only unlocked it in the save that I had everything unlocked, and
Yeah.
every
Yeah.
time I saw it, it was like,
The same. Beyond that one, yeah, it is not unlocked.
So no real experience with it. But we don't need it because we can read. We know the game. We know how that would interact, and it's such a D. It's such a D. Maybe
it's
even
like
an
twisted.
F.
It's like the twist.
Nah,
Well,
D.
it doesn't actively hurt. It doesn't
doesn't.
actively harm you,
Correct.
but it's like Twisted Blade. It just doesn't really do much.
Yeah. If you don't have the curses, it does nothing.
Exactly. All right.
All right.
Last
One
relic for
final little doggy-based action. Doggy-based relic action deals even more damage when you critically strike. Dylan's Claws, reference from Dylan a dog you find around in the Undermine. You'll give him a little pat and he'll make his way back to the hub for you, giving you Dylan's Claw. And that dog, you're just going to end up spending most of your time patting him on the head. But having an increase of critical hit damage from 150 of their base damage to 200%, that is a mighty increase, which you do get an alternative blessing option to increase now in the most recent update to deal even more damage when you critically strike. But Dylan's Claw, along with something we'll get to at another point, they're the two relics that will always sort you out when it concerns critical, and you won't need to worry about anything else for the most part. An essential item for any Underminer. Heading down further and further, you're going to need to be finding cheeky ways of getting that extra damage, extending out from your base damage, and this is one of them. Like, it might not show up all the time, but when it does, it can make that difference to one enemy or an entire boss fight. What do you guys think? It's It's good. I enjoy this one.
Yeah, I agree. This is one of my favorites with increasing my odds and doing the amount of damage that is needed in order to one-shot an enemy or deal a lot more damage to a boss. I mean, look at potentially 200% of your base damage. That is incredible at keeping the longevity going. Now, it doesn't increase your crit hit chance, but when it hits, oh boy, does it hit.
You'll have plenty of opportunity as well to increase your critical hit chance. Although,
Oh,
as long as you don't take the Twisted Blade, and you don't get yourself involved in that. This is why we said stay away from Twisted Blade and that kind of stuff, because there's good items, legitimately common items, like Dylan's Claw, that'll sort you out, and you're not going to have a problem, and it's thumbs up from there. From the game, it's as soon as you see this, thumbs up from the game, it's like, yeah, buddy, go do your work. We march along and we kill everything we see. It's good times.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I
Indeed.
really like this relic. Just more damage when you crit strike. It's like having a couple of ferocity, and I always love having ferocity.
Yeah,
For
Ferocity is
me,
a blessing. It changes the game. It really does.
I'd probably put this up along Sun Eater and Vorpal.
Ooh, as a common item as well, it's such a staple that I do want to give it a really high ranking.
Mm-hmm.
But as compared to other things, it's an interesting one. Again, it
Yeah,
does
I mean,
belong on the good Vorpal pillow kind of basis, but
it
Yeah,
does require curses in order for it to become ultimately useful. Now, do you have a normal crit possibility that this could take advantage of? Yes. Every play, there is a specific, I don't know the specific percentage of hitting with a crit. This makes those hits absolutely worth it. So, an A plus? I don't know.
it's a difficult one because there's so many good A's that if you came across Lava Boots and Dylan's Claw, even Dirk's Extra Life, the doll I'd probably drop. I can run with a few curse here and there, so that wouldn't be a problem.
yeah.
But if it came across Vorpal or Pillow, that's the real challenge. Can it get to an A plus? Can it push itself up there? I don't know if it can.
Comparing it with like breastplate or even Sun Eater. If I had to
Sun
choose
Eater.
between the Dylan's Claw or a pillow, I'd probably go pillow or breastplate.
Good
I do
defense will
think,
keep you alive longer. They
yeah,
do the extra damage.
I do think this thing is really, really good, but compared to the other things in the A plus tier, I think I was a little bit too hasty on my assignment. So I'll agree with an A, but I wouldn't want to put it any lower.
Yeah, like it doesn't deserve to go any lower, I don't think. But
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Just for the fact that it doesn't or like you need to get some more crit to really see this thing shine. I could see it being A.
you find it
Yeah.
all the time as
It,
well, and you just become used to it, and it becomes a regular part of your run. So it's one that it just doesn't let you down. You always seem to find it. You always seem to get benefit out of it, and that benefit can make all the difference.
yeah. Agree.
Indeed.
All right.
Right, that's all 9 done today.
Well, I think that's. Yep.
All right, thank you for joining me, Priskip. Appreciate it, my friend.
All right.
Headwound, always an entertaining one, especially today with the few healing relics we had and the back and
Yeah,
forth we had on
you
those.
bastard.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
was
you
good.
yeah.
He'll be
Yeah.
watching over this list now, thinking where he can flank me, where he can get
Yeah.
around and try and get some leverage. I know
Oh,
it.
you wait.
I am.
Oh,
I
you
will
wait.
eagerly await for tomorrow's episode. But thank you, everybody, for joining us today who's been following along. It's been a blast for us. Hope it's been just as entertaining for yourselves listening, enjoying the commentary on these relic tier lists. I've been Suffer, I've let suffer together. If you want to follow, like, subscribe, comment on the video with any questions, just saying hello. It's all good. It all helps out. Go follow Headwound on his social medias, on his YouTubes, and all that good stuff. You know where to find us. Until next time, my friends, you take it easy, take care of yourselves, and I'll catch you in the next video. See you later, guys.
See ya.
Bye.